Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you do not have 5 hours to watch the Warren Buffett annual Berkshire Hathaway meeting, but you still want to gain the knowledge, then you are in the right spot. I'm going to give you the 5 biggest takeaways from this event and how you can use this to make a lot of money. Stay tuned guys, and thank you again for watching. Now, the biggest event that I'm sure you already have heard of, he is retiring, which is much deserved because he has the best track record almost out of every single person in the investing world. Now, Warren Buffett has done fantastic, but do not worry, your investments are safe because the person who is coming to take charge of this investment portfolio is the second in charge already. He's pretty much the CEO of the utilities division. Very smart man. He's been with Warren Buffett for over 25 years, so there's no one better to swap hands with. Also, people I don't think understand that I don't believe Warren Buffett in his old age is doing all of the decisions at Berkshire Hathaway. I'm sure he has the final go around on many things because he is a huge shareholder of the stock, of course. But I think a lot of the decisions that was being made in this company was already by Greg, who will be taking over. Now, something I found very funny is Greg's last name is Abel, and I do believe he is able to keep the stock market high. I know it's not funny, but pretty much Warren Buffett was asked what his views on the USA stock market is, especially in this current state. And you know what he said? He said he would be born here, and he would negotiate in the womb to be born in the USA. He is super bullish. He just can't find any good thing to currently invest in right now. And so pretty much the entire focus of this entire conversation was he is still very bullish long term in the USA, and so is Greg. So taking account of this from what we will, as you guys saw from the last stock market rally of now almost 9 days, we're almost back to all-time highs. Berkshire Hathaway is pretty much at all-time highs, so there's no one better, in my opinion, that we get this answer from than Warren Buffett himself. So if you guys are worried about the stock market, even Warren Buffett is not worried about the stock market. Now, coming on to the third point, he was spoken about opportunities in the stock market and why he holds such a large cash position, almost at $400 billion. That's insane. More valuation than most companies. Now, Warren Buffett had a great answer for this. He simply does not find an opportunity worthwhile enough to invest that amount of money. And think about it. It makes sense. When we're wondering why he has so much cash, why do you hold cash? For this amount of cash, by the way, he's still way more diversified into stocks than holding cash. It's not like he has his whole portfolio in cash, not even close. But he just is unable to find a good position. And he also has mentioned numerous times that for tax purposes, he's looking to take his money out of Apple, all of these stocks, so that he can save money on the taxes, which is obviously a very big portion. I'm also thinking that he is thinking in the very long term. For example, he is stepping down, so he's probably thinking about what the best next decision is for his company for Greg to take over. And just another note on this point, he also said he found a $10 billion opportunity a little while ago that he almost invested in, but he did not. So this just goes to show you that we do not need to worry about why he's holding so much cash. We should all hold cash and buy in the great opportunities, which look like it was literally this year. Now, the fourth most interesting thing about this entire summit was what he talked about car insurance. There were a lot of people asked about his car insurance because obviously they own Geico, fully outright, by the way. So, what was his positioning on it? Obviously, with self-driving tech, it's going to become, insurance is not going to become a profitable business, correct? Completely wrong. He said something that completely changed my mindset. He said, although the accidents will become far less, just like how death cases in cars have gone so much lower in the last little while, just because of innovation of technology. Just like that, since there's not going to be as many accidents, the accidents that do happen will be so much more costly. And think about it. If you have so much self-driving technology in your cars, their cars are going to be a lot more expensive, which means to insure them, it's going to cost probably a lot more. He gave a great analogy for this, which he said a long time ago, insurance only costs $50 versus now it might cost $400. And he said just like this, he is expecting the same trend to go upwards because technology is going to cost even more. And this was just a fantastic way to think about this sort of idea. When I thought insurance might be obsolete once every car is pretty much self-driving, which again we may even not even get there, but he just totally turned my head into such a good idea. Even if stuff like a car accidents become obsolete, what happens when your car stops working? What happens when you need an issue? What happens when this issue happens? the technology will cost a lot more. And that is a fantastic way to think about his business. Now, I think the last point that I want to make onto this stock and this amazing company is he told us something I was unaware of. Whenever he buys his stock, he has to pay a 1% fee, which is a tax on the stock. Now, thinking about this, it makes sense of why he doesn't just buy his stock anytime. If his stock is already really high, and he, let's just say, even wants to buy $100 billion, 1/3 of what he's holding right now, into his own stock, so he owns more percentage of the business. Do you know what happens? He has to pay $1 billion in fees. So I now understand why the cash pile is so big. I don't think he is waiting for devastation. Although he does say in the next 5 to 10 to 15 years, there will be a good buying opportunity. There always is. I think that he is just waiting to make the smart maneuver, and he has no reason to rush into it. One thing I realized from Warren Buffett, the biggest lesson is, although he's so much older than me, he is so much more patient than me as well. And he is more patient than 99% of people. And that's why he has succeeded. And if you look at his stock, man, I can't even believe what I'm looking at. He has an average percentage raise of 20% per year, 19%. That's crazy, which means he's doubling the S&P 500. So if you look at this chart, I'm looking at this and I don't even believe my eyes. The chart is showing that even in just the 2000s, if you're just going from the early 2000s, his stock has produced back four plus, like 4x the amount of money that the S&P 500, and that's a percentage gain. So he has done fantastic, and this just goes to show you that I'm going to be very bullish on Berkshire Hathaway. I have been buying it ever since 2018, and I will continue to buy it till the day I die, I think. Greg, I think, is going to do fantastic, and I see no reason why the stock cannot perform. Thank you again for tuning in, guys. We will appreciate you subscribing, and appreciate the like, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.